And the women's beam. Let's welcome the gymnasts.
Right, we have the men's vault and the women's balance beam finals coming up. Here's the first flight of guys. It's half of the event finalists, 4 guys and 4 girls.
From Russia, Anton Bolotutskov. From Hungary, Marcel Hetrovic. And from Germany, Matthias Pare.
Matthias, who we've seen already once today.
We have from the Ukraine,
the 8 competitors for the men's vault.
From Great Britain, Lynette Lyle. From Russia, Anna Pavlova. And also from Russia, Elena Zamolodchikova.
Gymnastics for as well.
Apparatus.
And here's a look at the men's vault, the order in which the contestants will compete. Kosmitis, Greece will lead things off. And we're just about ready for competition as we continue our coverage, second half of the Grand Prix. There's the balance beam, and here's the order. The contestants for the women's beam. Lynette Lyle will represent Great Britain. She will compete second.
We'll be working men's vault first.
And we'll begin with the men's vault. We talked about the varying ages. We've seen a 37-year-old, the oldest competitor in international competition. How about a 15-year-old from Greece?
No way.
Yeah, I have it right in front of me. 15 years of age. He qualified 4th. He's the youngest gymnast in the final.
That's even young on the women's side. Gymnastics. 15. There is a minimum rule. You have to be turning 16 in the year of the competition, so apparently he makes it. Makes the cut.
He's ready for his first pass.
All right, front handspring laid out. Rudy, nicely done. Got great distance and amplitude on that. Eleftherios is the youngest gymnast in the final, like we said, and qualified 4th into this rotation with a 15.15.
He also was second in the Greek Junior Championships, so pretty well accomplished for being just 15 years of age. First vault, 15.600.
That is a huge score. His first vault had a start value of 6.2. And here goes with the second vault that has a start value of a 6.2 as well. All right, half on entry, double twist off. Nicely done. There's some huge vaults coming from a 15-year-old. See Kazumatsu, double twist. Has a step back in the landing, but all in all, it was a huge vault.
Stayed within the lines.
Stayed within the lines, and it's going to get a very nice score for it.
As we await the score for Kosmitis, we go over to the beam.
Next up on beam is Olga Shcherbakchika. She's 18 years old.
Wow.
Nice round off layout mount. Beautiful tourjete half. It's a very difficult dance skill. There's a front flip. Ukraine are known for their impeccable form and extension. Flip-flop layout had a small wobble. Front aerial to a side summy. Looked as though she was going to perform it in combination for bonus. Took a wobble, so that will break the connection. She will receive no bonus for that. Aerial. Slight wobble. She placed 8th in the 2006 World Championships in the balance beam. Olga setting up for her dismount. Round off double back dismount. Small hop forward. But all in all, not a bad routine.
This was impressive.
That was a beautiful mount, stuck solid. Here's her flip-flop layout. Different angle. See there, she was off a little in feet position. Looks as though she opened a little too early on the dismount and had to, no choice but to take a hop forward. All right, Eleftherios ends up getting a 15.562, which is good enough to put him in first after one competitor.
21-year-old from Russia begins one of two passes on the men's vault. 6th in the DTP Cup, 2006, 2nd in the Russian National Championships, and 1st at the World Cup in Ghent. Qualified 3rd for the final.
Oh! Front handspring double front with a half twist. Gets great distance.
Great height as well.
Pretty decent height. Let's see the replay, what happened here. Tees up. No, he just actually starts the twist a little earlier than he should have. Timing's everything in this skill, and if you see right there, he begins the twist a little early, and that actually stops him from flipping. Probably could have condensed his body into a smaller ball as well. That's a difficult ball. That's so hard.
She got 14.75.
Olga receives a 14.75 for her efforts, which puts her in first after one competitor.
And the crowd's going to wake up a little bit right now. Or in just a moment. And right now, Kalatuskov with the second vault.
Like I was saying earlier, it's very hard to regroup and get yourself pumped up to do the second vault after you've already
blown the first
made a
one.
huge mistake. Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Right. Because both vaults are getting averaged together, and there's no way of dropping that score. So, regardless, a fall is going to be average in your score, which means you really have no chance of getting a medal in a vault final unless everyone blows it.
Right.
But the chances of that are highly unlikely.
Pretty much playing for pride.
All right, Suk double backflip in the top position. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Did great control in the landing.
You can see the disappointment for Anton Kalatuskov.
See here. Gets a low landing, but manages to control it. to almost get a stick. Just takes a small hop back.
15.0 for his initial vault.
Next up on beam now we have Great Britain, Lynette Lyle.
Right, next up on beam is Lynette Lyle. She is another hometown girl. She comes from Cardiff, Wales. Qualified 8th to the beam finals with a 14.1. She has a long look. I suppose she's one of the taller gymnasts out there. Although it's hard to tell because she might look extremely tall and only be 5'4" max.
She does look long, though.
She looks very long. It accentuates the lines and the skills. It really is pleasing to look at. Especially on the balance beam. It's what you want.
Oh, and she falls.
There she does a front flip off of one leg. Now it's fairly easy to fall on skills like that coming off one leg because it's very easy for the hips to turn. And if the hips turn, it can throw you off the beam in a second. Two and a half twist dismount. Great effort from Lynette Lyle.
As we wait for the scoring of Lynette Lyle. See the score from Anta Galotutskov. One more look, though, at Lyle.
There on the front aerial, she almost misses that. Must be pretty exciting for the British gymnasts to have a handful of them here competing at this World Cup. For me, in any team situation, it's a little more comforting at least to have people you know around you.
And there we see the score for Galotutskov. Second after two competitors. From Hungary, Marcel Petrovic, 21 years of age, 7th qualifier. In 2005, he was 7th in the World Cup in Maribor. Ready for his first vault.
His first vault's out of a 6.6 start value. Handspring double front. Nicely done. Look at that. Look how far he traveled. He's virtually at the end of this judging table. That is huge.
Men's vault is almost pushing it to the point of being out of control, it seems like. Right up against it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. There's a fine line between out of control and being just perfect enough, and that's men's vault for you. As we saw in World Championship finals and past World Cup finals, I mean, people will just crash and burn on the vault. Can't blame them though, you know, they're doing ridiculously hard gymnastics. It's so risky.
Kamikaze event.
Right.
Petrovic. First vault, 15.625.
15.625. Let's have the second vault for Marcel Petrovic.
Right, this vault is only out of a 5.4 start value. So
back it off a little bit.
Yeah, back it off, but yet, then again, it's going to be hard to get a medal with a low start value vault. Half on entry, back layout full off the horse. It was very nicely done.
Big step
See
back.
the Kazumatsu full right there. Yeah, big step back. I mean, with the guys that we might see in the next few vaulters, if there's some big start values, 2 strong vaults, this Kazumatsu full is not going to cut it. All right, next up on beam is Anna Pavlova. She qualified first into the beam final with a 15.45, tied with Stiliana Easter from Romania.
She already has a gold today.
Anna is beautiful on this event. Right there, broke connection. The front aerial and looked as though she was going to connect into her side summy. Was off and could not keep going. If Anna would just stay on the beam, really be consistent, she is, in my eyes, the beam queen. So beautiful to watch. And has a high difficulty packed beam routine. Nice and noti. I'm sorry, full twisting back handspring step out.
Of course. You're forgiven.
I'm sure she does a noti as well. Sometime in the routine. That was a full twisting swing down. Fabulous extension on the toes. There's the anoti. Getting ahead of myself. Go back handspring layout, step out. Nicely done. And every split she does, it's virtually over split. Round off 2.5 twist. Fantastic routine.
Pavlova looking to get another medal, perhaps. Add to her gold. Take another look here.
See there? She's off a little. Now, it's very smart of her that she stopped, because if she would have kept going, it potentially could have pulled her off the beam when she did her side summy, which was that second flip we saw. Gymnastics definitely takes quick and witty thinking when you're in the middle of your skill, and really great body awareness to know how to make a very important decision like she did.
Over to Marcel Hetrovic. 15.075. Good for third currently. And one we've seen before already. Here's Matthias Fahrig, Germany.
Matthias's first vault's out of a 6.6 start value. Let's see what he has to score for us. Front handspring, double front! That was huge.
Looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
That was amazing.
Well, you were talking about a little bit a while ago about Galatutskov and maybe needed a little bit tighter rotation. That's about as tight as you can get right there for Fahrig.
No doubt. And although he takes a small step backwards, he really controls the landing. You see it in his face? It's pretty controlled. Looks as though he was trying to go for the stick. It was slightly off. All right, Anna Pavlova scored 15.025. And that is good enough to put her in first. That's a huge score, and hopefully that'll hold up. We will see, though.
Back over to Fahrig, 20-year-old from Wittenberg. Waiting his score. 15.850.
Wow.
Now, he did qualify first for this event. He already won the gold medal on the floor. Second of the World Cup of Sao Paulo, 2005. Here's his second vault.
All right. Kazumatsu 2.5 twist. Very nicely done. Clean lines. Great landing. Probably could have gotten a couple more feet as far as distance is concerned. But all in all, it was a great job.
Big smile right there. He seems to like it. Now we go back to the women's beam.
Next up on beam, Elena Zamolodchikova from Russia. Her resume is just packed as far as her achievements in this sport. She qualified 7th into the balance beam final, 14.275. She's known for her vault and floor as being her strongest events, but very impressed with the way she's performing this routine today on beam, because it's not exactly her strongest event. Full twisting back handspring step out to a full twisting back handspring swing down. Looked as though that should have been connected, but it's okay. She really didn't have a wobble, so I don't see any execution to be taken. Not as graceful as some of the other gymnasts we normally see from Ukraine and Russia. Alright, beautiful. Double back dismount with a nice stick. Great job. Very nice job. We see here the replay of her mount. Round left layout step out, and will not give any deduction away. Right, you just see there a little bit, little knees, little toes, not exactly impeccable form as we saw in Pavlova or from some of the gymnasts from Ukraine.
Back over to the men, Matthias Farig from Germany. And he is now in first place, looking for another gold, an average score of 15.800. So Matthias takes the lead. Back over to the women.
Right. Elena's beam performance was good enough to get her a 14.5. Fairly low start value of a 5.5. When your start value is low, it's really hard to even be competitive with someone with a high start value who hits their routine.
And here comes the second half of the competitors for the men's vault as well as the women's beam. And here are the introductions.
On the beam, the Netherlands, Verona van der Leur. From Romania, Steliana Nistor. From the Ukraine, Daria Zagova. And from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. Gymnasts, please march to your feet.
And once again, we're ready for the second half of our competitors in the men's vault and the balance beam. As far as the men's vault, we will begin with Timo Niemiela from Finland, 17 years of age.
Timo qualified 8th into the vault final, with a 14.375.
Finished 7th on the still rings that we saw just a little while ago.
All right, half on entry. Laid out 1.5 twist off. Nicely done. Pretty decent distance to amplitude. Let's see here.
Doesn't seem like he got quite as much vertical.
Right, yeah, he needs a little bit more amplitude to be competitive against some of those other guys. And the judges also look to see if the gymnast is in the middle of the lined mats, which he wasn't. But we'll see how that all pans out.
Another one of our younger competitors. Our youngest competitor today, 15 years of age. Conversely, our oldest, still amazing on the still rings, 37.
All right, he was awarded a 14.825 for his first vault. That has a start value of a 5.8. This next vault has a start value of a 4.6. Very low start value. Front handspring, front pike half. Very nicely done, but when you have a 4.6 start value, you're not going to get much for it at all.
Is that about as low as you can get as far as the start value?
I would say, if you're in the 4s and you're trying to do something in a vault final, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. You can't even really be in the 5s with your start value. A lot of the big guns in vault have 6 6s, 6 8s for both vaults. So here's Verona van der Leur from the Netherlands, up in the balance beam. She qualified 6th into the beam final with a 14.575. Nice one-armed Anodi. It's pretty awesome skill. Very difficult. An Anodi, which is a back handspring with a half turn, blind landing is hard enough, let alone with one arm. Verona is phenomenal on this event. She was really big on the gymnastics scene a few years ago, and around 2003. Faded out a little bit, but looks like she's back in shape and ready to prepare for these next few years. Hopefully she'll be around for 2008.
What an excellent routine.
Nice double twist dismount. Very simple dismount.
Flashes a smile.
But all in all, that was an amazing routine. Amazing in the fact that her composure up there, her dynamic movements, looks like she went all out on every skill. That is such a hard skill.
Looks easy.
Looks easy because she performs it flawlessly.
Yes. Very difficult.
Nice leg up full turn. We've been seeing a lot of gymnasts perform the full turn with the leg up in the World Championships and the World Cup, and having big wobbles on it. Actually saw a couple of gymnasts fall on it, so that's a lot of bonus in the new code, but very risky.
Timo ends up 5th with an average score of 15.387. Actually 5th as we speak, as we have 3 more competitors in the men's vault final. Marco Mayer from Austria, 25 years of age, the 6th qualifier in the vault final. His best vault results in 2006. He was 8th in the World Cup in Lyon. He was 3rd in Tehran.
All right, front handspring double front. Doesn't exactly get enough height and has to
take a seat for a moment.
We see here, he doesn't get enough pop off the horse. And from what he has because it's not enough to get him around the double front. If you think about it, it's more than a double. It's 2.5. You got to complete the handstand up, and then you start 2 flips. So that's extremely hard. Verona is rewarded a 14.95 for her beautiful beam routine and places her in second so far.
Back to the men's vault. Mare's second attempt. First vault, 15.20.
Ready now for his second vault.
Once again, he was the 6th qualifier for the men's vault.
This vault has a start value of a 5.4. All right. Half on entry, layout full twist off. Like I was saying, any vault with a start value in the 5s is just not going to cut it as far as medal contention in a vault finals. Right.
What type of start? What type of start will you have for like Olympic competition? Start values.
Well, in new code of points, any guys with 2 strong vaults above a 6.5, that's very strong. But anything under that is really not going to cut it if you want to win the gold. This is Steliana Nista from Romania. Seen a lot of her this year as well. She qualified first in the beam finals in the 15.45 and tied with Pavlova. Beautiful back handspring. Full. It's a very hard skill. It's a backflip on the beam with a 360-degree twist, and you're virtually blind when landing. Nice front flip off of one leg. We'll also see her in the floor final. Nice side semi. Now the Romanians came to the World Championships this year in Aarhus and were talking about how they were in a transition year and rebuilding their team up, lost a lot of girls, and weren't really expecting to do well at all. Actually had one of their gymnasts, Sandra Izbasha, 3rd in the all-around, which was phenomenal. And beautiful dismount. Double pike dismount off the beam. I would say they're doing very well, considering they're not expecting anything in their transition year. New coaches, new system for the Romanians. Needless to say, throughout all of it, the Romanians will always be the masters of the balance beam. It's rare that you ever see a Romanian fall in this event.
Why is that?
I think it's something in the air over there, Dave.
Really? Something in the water.
Something in there. No, great combination of great coaching with numbers and great coaching. You will develop consistency. In this event, the balance beam, it takes a significant amount of numbers. That dismount, beautiful. Back handsprings into a double pike.
Back over to Marco Mayer. Austrian gets a 14.825. Places him 5th. 2 to go. So taking the seat on that second vault certainly hurt him. 14.2. Thomas Boal, we've seen already today, placed 5th in the floor exercise. And he qualified 2nd for this event, the men's vault. He was 2nd in the DTB Cup in 2006.
Thomas's first vault is out of a 7.0 start value, which is the highest, one of the highest in the finals today.
Oh.
All right, Tsukuhara double pike. Now from the aerial angle view we had, it looks as though he was coming down to land on his face, but manages to pull it out. Has to take a huge hop to the side. Here we see a replay. Lands really short and uses that leg strength to hopefully save it. Look at him there. Just can't quite get up enough strength to keep it on his feet. So he's going to get the fall, and probably is going to get more deduction than that because he took a good 2 or 3 steps off the mat, almost into the judges. All right, Steliana Nistor, 15.425. That puts her in first place so far.
Now back to Bual's second vault. And the first camera angle was a little bit scary. It looked like he was maybe going to do a face plant. He managed to pull it out.
And that vault is one of the hardest vaults being performed in the world today. Tsukuhara double pike. There's only one other guy in this vault rotation who's performing a 7.0 start value vault, and that's Anton from Russia.
First vault, 14.850.
His second vault.
And you can see where the degree of difficulty factors in. So high. Not that he's happy with a 14.850, but if that had a degree of difficulty of a 5.5, it wouldn't be a 14.850.
That's right. All right, this next vault's out of a 6.6. Let's see what he's got. All right, for handspring double front, and not muck up the energy to land it on his feet.
Well, he went for it.
He went for it. You know what? I gotta give it to him. He went for 2 huge vaults.
And if there's a place you're going to probably try it, it would be here this afternoon.
So true. So true. I really give him props just for his efforts on the high degree of difficulty he performed here tonight. Get a 7.0 start value and a 6.6. That's world class right there. All right, next up on beam, Daria Zagova from the Ukraine. We've seen her a couple times tonight.
We've seen a lot of her lately as well in the international preliminary World Cup events.
We have. She actually got the silver medal tonight on the uneven bars behind Beth Tweddle. Good for her. Round off layout for a series. Nicely done. She actually could have potentially taken a big wobble, but instead kept it moving to mask the problem. It's a great little trick. It's like a bicycle. If you slow down, you're going to fall off. But if you, if you have a little glitch and you keep going, you might just be able to stay on. An aerial to a side aerial. A little bit too long of a pause there, so no connection bonus will be awarded for that. All right, front flip to a sheep jump. Two very, very difficult skills. Once again, she had a long pause between the skills and will not receive bonus for that either. Round off double pike. Very nicely done. Great job.
Hug from the coach. Beautiful beginning.
Shows her flexibility and strength there. Although she did not connect a few of the skills, there really was no big wobbles or execution errors in this entire routine. And with the new code of points, it's really key to do more individual skills and get those bonuses versus getting a connection. Because bonus for connections aren't as much as they used to be anymore.
And there we see the score of Tomas Huel, who really went after it, but he's 6th when it was all said and done. And here's Alexander Serpin from Ukraine, 19 years of age. He was the 4th highest qualifier for the men's vault with a score of 15.150.
Alexander's first vault will be at the 6.2 start value. Let's see what he's got. All right, half on entry, double twist off, and look at that distance. That is outstanding. You see here, Sukahara double twist and lands far, but also takes a huge hop backwards. In all, he had great lines in the air.
His coach seems happy with it. Now, do you get extra points based on how far you go and your amplitude?
Yes, well, distance and amplitude are a huge thing, you know. I mean, it's really the two things that judge can see, so it'll skew their opinion of what score the vault should really get. That was Daria Zagova. Score up. She received a 15.2, which is good enough to put her in medal contention so far.
Currently 2nd after her performance.
A side note, Daria turned 17 on November 7th, so just a couple days ago she had a birthday. Happy birthday, Daria.
There's Alexander Serpin, 2nd vault.
That's tough. All right, Yurchenko, 2.5 twist. Comes nowhere near landing on his feet. Gets very little even walk off the horse. We can see here on the replay. Comes in, just no height. His block, you should have seen a rise and a pop off the horse, and it virtually stays at the same level as he enters. Really doesn't go anywhere. When you're doing a tune-up twist, you got to go up, and
he didn't.
He didn't. Doesn't even get really a straight twist off the horse, which carries him over to the left side of the mat. That'll be a deduction for falling outside the lines, even more so than falling inside the line.
Back to the women's field.
Sandra Izbasha from Romania.
Final competitor in the beam final.
She's fabulous in this event. Won a silver medal at the 2006 World Championships in Aarhus. Very nice for an aerial. Back handspring layout step out. Oh. Makes a small wobble. Oh. It's a very difficult skill. The front flip. It's like it was attempted in the laid out position from one leg. That's very hard to do. Switch gainer layout step out. At the 2006 Romanian Nationals, she placed 1st on this event. So you can see how she's all around a good beam worker. Nice front flip. She's got some great skills in here, but seems to take wobble checks on every skill she's performed. Yes.
Yeah, it seems like she just misses every skill by just a bit.
And she's definitely not in her groove tonight, as we've seen in the past.
dismount.
All right, triple twist doesn't exactly get it all the way around. And the judges could hit you hard on that. If you don't perform a triple twist all the way around, they could take away the entire bonus of the skill and devalue it to a lower skill, which would be very detrimental to start value.
Those wobbles, that was pretty much the theme of her routine. Slight wobble.
Wobble after wobble could add up very quickly and just kill you on execution errors.
Right there. Zagova always happy, and there's a look at scoring 5th. Saparun, 14.877. That concludes the men's vault competition. And here's a look at the final results. And Matthias Varg picks up his 2nd gold for Germany here on the World Championships with a score of 15.800. Kosmidas from Greece, 15.562 for the silver. And the Russians take home another bronze. And the women's competition for the beam is complete as well. We'll have those scores coming up. And don't forget, you're watching WCSN. We still have plenty of gymnastics coming your way. Here's a look at the score for our final competitor in the women's beam.
All right, Sandra Zbasha comes out with a 15.025, which is good enough to put her in 3rd place on the balance beam.
And here's a look at the beam finals. Nistor, the Romanian, takes home gold.
Not a surprise.
Zagova, that's 2 silvers. She's had a very nice championship. And Anna Pavlova, 15.025, picks up the bronze again for the Russians. And right now we have 3 events left in our competition. Balance beam final complete. 2 more men's competitions coming your way. Glasgow, the high bar final, as well as the parallel bars. And we will have the parallel bars up first, and then we will end with the high bar final.
You've been watching exclusive coverage from WCSN, World Championship Sports Network, home of the world champions.
Randy Durgis and Tasha Schweiger. Hope you're enjoying your afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. And a nice show from Glasgow Grand Prix.
This World Cup prelim is just one of many preliminary World Cup events, as the gymnasts are earning points for their gold, silver, and medal performances, as well as points for just being in finals of these World Cup prelims. Those points will accumulate, and the top gymnast will be admitted into the World Cup final, which will take place in Brazil starting December 13th. And the only place you could watch exclusive coverage of the World Cup finals coming at you from Brazil is here at WCSN.
Now, Tasha, as far as the World Cup in Brazil, are pretty much the competitors already at this time of year? Is it pretty much already set who's in and who's out?
It'll be set right after this Glasgow Grand Prix World Cup. They will enter in the scores. I'm not exactly sure how they tabulate the points, but obviously if the more World Cups you're in, the more points you accumulate. But anyone, even if you compete in one World Cup and have captured the gold medal, I'm pretty sure you're going to the World Cup final in that event.
Okay. And the men's parallel bars is coming up, and here's a look at the order in which they will compete. Gail da Silva will lead the way from France, followed by Brian Gladgow. from Germany. The Germans have had very successful meets so far.
And last on the P-bars is our American gymnast, Sean Townsend, one of the 2 American gymnasts in this World Cup. Sean is amazing on the parallel bars. So very excited to see him here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome back the
And let's listen in for the announcement of the competitors.
From Germany, Glasgow. From Russia, and from Poland, Roman Apparatus. On the floor, from Romania, Steliana Nistor. From Russia, Elena Zamochikova. From Great Britain, Beth Weddle. And also from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. Gymnasts, please make your way to the apparatus.
And there's a look at our first 4 competitors in each event. Each event will consist of 8 total competitors, and as far as the women's floor is concerned, here's the lineup.
To start us off on floor is going to be Romania's Steliana Nistor, followed by Russia's Elena Zamochikova.
Well done.
3rd is Beth Tweddle, the hometown girl.
We will move on from there.
And the first
here's that we will begin with parallel bars. Gail De Silva, qualified 8th. This is an interesting side note for De Silva. He began gymnastics at the age of 9, believe it or not, after trying soccer and swimming. So apparently he wasn't very good at that, so he went to gymnastics. Isn't 9 years of age a little bit old to be starting gymnastics?
Yes. A lot of you out there are probably thinking 9. Like, everyone starts at 9. Football players start at 9. Basketball players start at 9, even older. Yeah, gymnastics, 3's the popular age to start at.
Yes.
Around there, 3, 4, 5. By the time some of these guys are 9, they are doing double backflips, double twists already, and this guy's just starting, so give him props for being here. There's Gail De Silva.
Oh! A little surprising that early into the routine for a major mistake like that.
Looks like he just took the skill for granted. Sometimes skills that are so simple as in that one, you're not really completely focused on it. It's easy to slip the hand, which happened right there. See the hand slipped?
That's got to be disheartening that early in the routine as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not like he was at the 3/4 point. So effectively, he's starting over.
Basically.
His entire routine.
Pretty much. We'll perform it again. There you go. All right. Each have to handstand. Nice giant. It's a Cox Coleman. Pirouette half. Right. Struts. Double back. Hike dismount. And I have to say, after the fall, you had a pretty good routine.
Yeah. Other than the fall.
Other than the fall at the beginning.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's one of those moments where you want to be like, hey, judges, just kidding. Let's start over.
That didn't happen.
It's bad it's not like Monopoly and you get one free pass.
Right. Small step back. You're right, other than the fall, Gail De Silva, pretty nice effort on the parallel bars. First of 8 competitors. Over to the floor.
From Romania, Steliana Nistor.
All right, so Nistor from Romania. She qualified 4th into the floor final with a 15.5. And then the 2004 Junior European Championships, she was first on this event. So this is a good event for her. Opens up with a full twisting double back. Nicely done. One and a half punch front tuck. It was a fairly simple second pass, but with the new code of points, there's certain requirements, and so a lot of girls fulfill them with performing simple passes placed in the middle of the routine. All right, going for her third pass. There you saw after her second pass, she performed a very nicely done double turn with the leg up. Some hard dance and nice bonus on that. Beautiful triple turn. In the past, Romania was not known for their dance work, but apparently ballet must have been implemented into their system. Nice 2.5 twist to finish off the routine. Beautiful floor exercise. I would have to say that's a medal contention routine right there. No obvious deductions whatsoever.
Now, how long generally is a routine?
1:10 is the minimum length, and 1:30 is the maximum. You see here a beautiful triple turn. I got more excited about that than anything. You rarely see great triple turns on the international scene these days. That was well done.
Fancy.
Now Gail Silver was first up on the parallel.
All right, now we're going to go back to the parallel bars.
And he scored 13.825.
13.825 for Gail de Silva from France. And now we will go over to Brian Gladov from Germany, 18 years of age, qualified 6th. Was 3rd in Portugal in 2006 in international competition.
Let's press that mount. Reach basket up. It's pretty cool. Little signature skill you don't see too often. Healy. Up to handstand. Yamadov. All right. Stutz. 3/4 to a hip press up. Double pike dismount. Very nicely done.
Another nice performance for the Germans. So the Russians and Germans both having a very good final so far.
The start value is only out of a 5.7, which is the lowest we're going to see today in these finals.
Slight step.
And it was a clean, nice routine, but with a 5.7 competing against some guys who have 6.3 start values, it's not going to cut it. All right, Steliana Nistor's floor exercise. Awarded her with the 14.725. Next up, Elena Zamolochikova. Here's the Russian floor phenom. She took the gold at the 2000 Olympic Games in the floor final. But in this final, she qualified 5th into it with a 14.35. Front full step out to a triple twist. Looks as though she landed out of bounds, jumped back in, but it might have been too quick for the judges to tell. We'll see what happens at the end. Full twisting double back. Beautiful! Gorgeous landing. Impressive enough, she has won 11 world and Olympic medals over the past 7 years. Now, Elena is not exactly your most graceful balletic gymnast, and normally has the showstopper, crowd-pleasing music, but this music she has tonight is more dramatic and slow, which is very uncharacteristic of her style, but seems to be working very well. All right, ends with a beautiful double pike. Nice landing.
Elena Zabolotchikova.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful performance.
That was wonderful.
You're right, not quite graceful, but powerful.
Very powerful. That's what she's known for, and you know, this is a different twist of music for her, and I really think it fits her well. The dramatic
that
music.
Step, barely on the line.
See, from that angle, we actually saw she actually stayed inbounds. Her heel was up off the ground, and that's okay. If you're touching the white and your heel is up, it's fine. But if that heel is anywhere placed down on the floor outside the white lines, there's an out-of-bounds penalty of a 10th.
Now, do the judges, do they have the opportunity to see a replay of that, or do they just have to catch it with their naked eye?
They have to get to their naked eye. There's actually line judges who sit around the floors with yellow flags and will throw it up if they feel as though a gymnast went out of bounds.
And we continue.
All right. Next up on the parallel bars from Russia,
Safoshkin.
Alexander Safoshkin. His routine here is out of a start value of a 6.3. Giant. Nice Coleman in the tuck position.
This is our circus man again.
Circus man. Very nice amplitude. Just hits his leg on the parallel a little bit.
He's looking to capture his second goal here in Glasgow.
Oh. Very different dismount. Most guys dismount off the parallel bars backwards. You'll see very few front dismounts because it is a lot harder to land forwards in anything than it is backwards because the landing's so blind. Looks as though he just didn't get enough kick. Right there. This is actually one of the skills where he hit his leg on, but on the dismount he needed to get a little more kick with his heels up into the air and more pop. It was lacking and resulted in a fall. It's right there. That's too bad.
So Safoshkin will await his score.
It's too bad because he had one of the highest start values, the parallel bar rotation today. Right, Elena is rewarded with a 15.0 on the floor. Next up on floor, hometown favorite, Beth Tweddle.
There's one gold already today. Did you hear the crowd? Come on, Beth.
Beth has had a fabulous year so far. This is definitely considered her breakout year on the international scene. 1.5 twist to a Arabian double front and nails it. Nice music choice. Fits her very well. All right, Arabian double front pike. Oh.
Fall hand out of bounds.
And doesn't complete it. That's too bad. But hey, you know what? No regrets. She's done amazing.
She's going home with gold yet again.
That's an extremely hard pass. An Arabian double front's hard enough, let alone in a pike position. That just bumps up its difficulty. Beth's life has been very exciting ever since her win at the 2006 World Championships on the uneven bars. She's the first British gymnast to win a gold medal in history. And she's actually expected to make the shortlist for the prestigious BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
Beth Weddle.
Nice job, Beth.
A little disappointed, obviously, after the fall and then the out of bounds, but overall a nice performance. The score to beat right now is a 15.000, and that fall is going to keep her from attaining that. But all in all, a wonderful final competition for Beth Tweddle from the UK.
There's a replay of her opening pass. That was huge. If you want to nominate Beth to be the BBC Sports Personality of the Year, you could go on to the International Gymnast website and vote for her.
Are you an agent?
I'm not an agent, but you know what? Like, this World Cup is in. She's the hometown girl. I'm so happy for her.
Going to bat for Beth.
That's right.
She anxiously awaits her score. And we go over to Alexander Safishkin and 14.250. And from the look of it, you knew a score such as that was going to come down the pipe after his fall.
All right, next up on the P-bars, Roman Kulezeska from Poland.
There are two Polish competitors in the finals of the parallel bars. Roman was fifth qualifier, also qualified to the high bar final, which we will see coming up next.
Some very, very difficult skills here. He did two skills that are signature skills of his. This is Diamonov. Press handstand. Look at his control. Unbelievable. And the toe point and the extension. Man.
The pike dismount.
Wonderful, wonderful job. That routine was out of a 6.0 start value. It was a pretty flawless performance, I'd have to say. Look at his extension.
Very nice with the pike dismount. There it is. Small hop. You should be happy with that effort.
Of course. All right, Beth Tweddle's score comes up, and it's a 14.55. Good enough to place her in third so far. Next up from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. We've seen her, we just saw in the balance beam final. She qualified first into the floor final. Punch front full, punch front full. Beautiful combination pass. By looking at her stats, she is the champion of the floor at the 2006 Romanian Nationals and the 2006 European Championships, as well as qualifying first into this World Cup final. So I have to say this is her event.
Interesting music selection.
It is very interesting, but I feel like it fits her very well. Had a little suspense to it. Decent triple turn. Right, 2.5 punch front layout. Beautifully done. See the leap combinations there? That's in the code of points. That's a requirement to show 180-degree split in combination with another jump. So the gymnast will either perform that in a straddle position or the split. Beautiful triple twist. Fantastic. She just nails that and completes the 3 twists all the way around. Very nicely done. You gotta love when a gymnast just nails it and doesn't even have to take a step out. That's ultimate control right there.
To the new viewer, that's the thing that would stand out most to their eye.
Not only to the new viewer, to the judge.
True.
It puts a exclamation point on the routine, and this is a subjective sport, so the judge is going to look at that, and who knows? Right there, that stick might have added an extra 10th onto her score, just because.
Back over to the parallel bars.
14.925.
Glasgow goes into first place with a score of 14.925.
Right, Sanda is Basha waiting her score. See a little ice pack on her ankle.
See if you smile when you see the score, Sandra.
Looks as though it's preventative.
15.
All right, 15.3 for Sandra is Basha from Romania. Puts her in first so far.
And we're going to welcome in our next 4 competitors for each of the event.
I don't know, 15.3, that looks like it's going to be very hard to beat. It's a huge score for the floor exercise with the new code of points.
So we are halfway through our current events.
We have from Canada,
The women's floor
from France,
and the parallel bars. I'm going to have to ask you something here in a moment.
And from the USA, Sean Townsend. On floor, there's Daria Jura.
What's up with her walk in and out of the arena? Very militant. Is that just a team thing, a country thing?
And from the Netherlands,
Which country? Daria Jura's?
Yes.
Gymnasts, please make your way to the
To me,
apparatus.
it's a sign of
Dominance.
a sign of dominance, I'm sure. As the U.S. gymnast, when I competed at the World Championships, we actually practiced the way we walked into the arena with a certain stature of confidence and, you know, just making a huge statement when entering. You normally do that in more of a team setting, but it's with her personality and the way she salutes every event. Looks like it's just inherent to her personality.
Put a little more on. A little more.
That's one thing I never really liked, having to chalk the bars, because you're standing underneath them and then chalk's flying in your face and your eyes, and then you gotta get ready to go in 10 seconds. You're really praying you're going to be able to see.
I never thought about that. Should get some pine tar. All right. Canadian Grant Golding. Next up, from Maple Ridge, Alberta. He was 7th in the floor exercise, so we have seen him today. He was first in the Commonwealth Games in 2006, and he is ready for his routine.
All right. Oh, loses it there a little bit in the back. It's Giant. Coleman in the pike position. All right. Press up. Nice double back. Press up. He must have used every inch of energy right there to get that up.
Goldie.
Just lost it in the small of his back one too many times. But hey, you know, gave a good effort and it was all smiles.
Well, he didn't fall.
No,
so I guess
fall.
that's the positive way to spin that. I believe this is his dismount. Nope.
Press it up. See right here where he press. There's no way. If I was out there, I would be on. I would have been down and had to restart my swing.
On floor now from Australia.
Back up to handstand.
Daria Jura.
All right, next up on floor, Daria Jura from Australia. Cute little side note. She has the nickname of Oscar because someday she wants to be a star.
She has the flair.
That's right. She qualified 5th into this floor finals. And her choreography is done by well-known choreographer Adriana Pope. Beautiful first pass. Little twisting double back. Nicely done. In the 2006 Australian National Championship, she was first on the floor exercise. Full twist, punch, Rudy. In the tuck position, nicely done. I'm very fond of her floor music. There's a great theme of suspense, and she really works this routine well with the music. Seems to fit her personality perfect. 2.5 twist, punch front full. Didn't quite set up the front full exactly straight and had to take a big step to the side. It's okay though. The rest of the routine has been very good. Just going for her final pass and see how she finishes out. Nicely done. Double pike.
Daria Jura.
Very good. Very good performance. That floor was out of a 5.9 start value.
And as Daria awaits her score, we'll be headed back over to the vault momentarily, but I believe we're going to take another look at some of the highlights of her routine.
See there in the background her coach, or the team coach, but he is the coach of former gymnast Alana Slater, at least one who helped her. Alana was a famous Australian gymnast I competed with. I talk about it like it was so long ago. It was really only like a year ago or two.
And Grant Golding from Canada moves into second place with a score of 14.575. So he seems very pleased with that. competitors left. Parallel bars. Jan Kucherov from France, 27 years of age, and he was the first qualifier for the men's finals. And he has quite a resume. He's a two-time Olympian. He won 2 medals in 2005 World Championships, a bronze on the parallel bars and a silver on the high bar. He has also qualified for the high bar, which will be our final event today here on WCSN.
Each have to handstand. Nice. Double backflip. Off to handstand. Off down. Pirouette half. Nice back struts and into a double pike dismount. It was a very nice routine. In fact, that was a fabulous routine. That was great. I actually didn't see anything.
He seems so matter of fact, no real emotion or expression out of him.
Well, I'm sure with his resume and the fact that he qualified first into this rotation, he's feeling a lot of pressure to come out on top in this final. But no, I agree. He could have
at least gave a smile.
Popped a few smiles. We know he's got a beautiful smile in there. We want to see it.
Daria Jura on the floor scored 14.675.
All right, 14.675 for Daria. We'll place her in 4th so far.
From Russia, Anna Pavlova.
All right, Anna Pavlova qualified 2nd to this floor final with a 14.875. Excuse me on that. She qualified 8th in this floor final with 13.8. Full twisting double back. Today, she actually already won the gold on vault and the bronze on beam. She's doing well tonight. She's got to be happy with anything that happens right here. Look at that extension. So graceful. It's beautiful to watch. Reminds me a lot of Yulia Pokypaeva from Ukraine. Yulia was the all-around champion in the 1996 Olympic Games.
Pavlova, 19 years of age.
Setting up for her last pass. Nice double pike dismount and just opens out a little too early.
Anna Pavlova.
Looks as though she wants to land the double pike earlier than her feet are ready to land, and takes a hop out of bounds, as well as going to get a pretty severe deduction for a low landing. Look at there, right there. She looks like she's ready to... Doesn't bring her chest up to land. More of an air sense problem here than anything. And especially the last pass when you're winded and you're tired. It's very difficult to know where you are in the air to land the last skill. But all in all, she's still happy. She won a gold today on the vault and a bronze on the beam.
And there you have Jan Kucherov from France goes into first place, and look at that excitement. He gets a score and just bails.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got it. I knew it. See ya. I'll be at the bar.
Dirt off my shoulders.
The second Polish competitor we have today, Emil Hubaj, 21 years of age. He was the 3rd best qualifier. Just turned 21 on the 6th of November.
break of the back there. It's key to keep your lower back extremely tight on this event. It's so easy. You've seen numerous times guys in handstand and they, for a split of a second.
Oh!
Just let the legs arch over a little bit, and that's a deduction. Those add up very quickly. See there, didn't get enough oomph off the P-bar for his dismount, and as a result, had to take multiple steps forward. Nice diameter. It's right there. Hasn't quite finished the double pike before he prepares to land in the air.
A little surprised that the padding, the landing area, isn't a little bit bigger.
Normally in international competitions, different countries with different matting companies, they don't traditionally make them as big as the matting companies in the United States. I mean, ultimately, you're aiming for the mat right beside the P-bars, not for the one that's down by the end of the podium, so.
Well, true. I'm just saying when they start to get their momentum on the dismount going forward.
All right, here on floor is Olga Shibata. Nice first pass, but runs a little too much before she gets started. Tumbling pass and steps out of bounds. It's already a 1/10 penalty off whatever score she earns. Beautiful second pass. Qualified third into this rotation with a 14.675.
This is the kind of music in the routine I personally like. The perky music that you know just, she's going to be all over the place.
And she actually has one of the quickest floor routines I've ever seen, at least on the international scene. She is like non-stop through this entire routine.
And the crowd's getting behind it as well.
It's definitely a crowd pleaser. You hear them clapping, and from my experiences, when you got the crowd clapping and you're going for your last pass, it helps a ton with that little thing they call adrenaline.
Yeah.
Beautiful double pike dismount.
Can I clap?
That was an amazing finish.
Just a fun performance.
Her start value is out of a 5.7. Not exactly competitive with Zamo's start value of a 6.0 or even Izbasha's start value of a 6.1. So it's going to be hard for her to overcome their scores. However, if this competition was based on crowd-pleasing attributes, I'd have to say that Olga wins my book.
I agree. If the average Joe was scoring at home,
right,
Olga would be your winner.
Or if it's based on pure crowd applause, with the applause meter, she wins.
Text from home on your cell phone. And we go back to the parallel bars.
14.375.
Woj from Poland. 14.375, that's good for fourth. And we will have our eighth and final competitor in the parallel bars. And from the United States of America, Sean Townsend. Qualified second for this event.
Sean's awesome on the parallel bars.
He was first. He was the gold medalist in the 2001 World Championships.
I was actually at that World Championships on the team competing in Ghent with Sean. Look at the way he moves. So dynamic. Beautiful. Nice clean lines. All right. Nice stuff. Keeps his back really tight.
Uh-oh.
And again. Goes for the double pike dismount. Just judges the landing sooner before his feet hit the ground, opens out, and is forced to take steps forward. That's too bad.
Up until the dismount, nearly flawless. A little over the top there.
He actually has one of the highest start values. It was 6.2. Only other higher start value is Alexander from Russia. So he didn't fall. We'll see. See what happens with Sean's score.
And finally, last year.
All right, Olga, 14.675. That's good enough for 4th place so far. Next up, Verona van der Leur from the Netherlands. She qualified 7th into this rotation with a 13.925. And at the 2002 World Championships, she was a silver medalist in this event. 2.5 twist, punch front, opening pass. Verona will turn 21 on December 27th. So. Right, double tuck for her second pass. It's not characteristic of someone to be in floor finals with a double tuck for a pass, but again, like we said, this is just the Glasgow World Cup prelim, and you'll see some bigger gymnastics at the World Cup finals in Brazil. Double twist. I must say, Verona is undoubtedly a beautiful gymnast to watch. She's great lines and beautiful movement of her hands and body. Stunning gymnast.
Verona van der Leur.
All right, nice performance. Start value of only a 5.3 on that routine, so that's undoubtedly not competitive at all. Although it was flawless, she is not anywhere near medal contention with this performance.
Now, what is the strategy of picking such a low start value if you know, even if you nail it real quickly, and you see Sean Townsend will get the bronze medal in the parallel bars.
14.7 puts him in 3rd place. That's very impressive. And again, like we're talking about start values, and if you have a low one, you're not able to actually overcome anyone who has a higher start value. But in Sean's case, you see him, he had a huge bobble at the end of the parallel bars, but the fact that he had such a hard parallel bar routine in comparison, and this finals kept him in the game and got him bronze.
And Mr. Emotion, Jan Kuchera, gets the gold for France. Biletsa from Poland, and then of course the United States gets the bronze.
So in this case with Sean, the new code has really worked to his advantage. All right, here's Verona. Scores a 14.325, which is good enough for 8th place. And that's purely due to her lack of difficulty because it was a clean routine.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can tell you now we are going to move very soon to one of the most spectacular.
And here's a look at the final medals that are given out. Here's Baza from Romania, gets the gold. And we have one event left here on WCSN, and that will be the high bar final. Competitors will be coming out momentarily. So stay tuned. One of the most exciting events in gymnastics, the high bar final.
First place went to Sandra Izbasha.
Before we get started on the men's high bar, I'd like to give a few thanks. I want to thank Bart Connor for all his help in gathering information for these broadcasts, as well as Amanda Turner, Amanda Turner has been awesome with all of her hard work and effort in gathering bios and data. So thank you, Bart Connor and Amanda Turner.
From Randy, too.
From Tasha and Randy.
And looking to get another gold very quickly, excuse me. Jan Kosharov from France. As our first 4 competitors are being announced.
Gymnasts, please turn and march to the high bars.
Here's the men's high bar start list. You start with Kucherat from France. Haggerty is second from the United States, followed by Kuslesa from Poland. I don't know about you, Randy, but men's high bar is my favorite event by far.
I'm going still with rings number 1, but then I'll agree with you. High bar definitely number 2.
Moving around, all the equipment, operators, judges just being.
It's just the most scariest when they crash.
Oh, great.
Jumping out of my seat over here. But hopefully we're not going to see any of those tonight.
When they crash, what do you watch NASCAR too? for the wrecks? Yeah, no, it does have the element of danger, no question about it. From Lyon, France. First competitor, first qualifier, won gold medal on the parallel bars just moments ago.
In the 2005 American Cup, Jan was first. And the 2005 World Championships, he placed second. And in the 2006 European Championships, he also placed second. So.
And we're ready now on the high bars. First gymnast from
Jan is a king of the high bar. I've named a few kings out there. So kings and queens.
Throwing them all around today. I'm sure if they hear it, they won't mind. There's Kucherov. First competitor on the high bars.
All right. Uprise half. Getting set up for a big skill here. All right. Kovacs full twist. Nice bar starter. All right,
wow.
Full twisting double layout and nails it.
What a landing.
Outstanding performance.
Oh, he could be looking.
Jan Kucherat.
Could be looking at 2 golds in the span of about 5 minutes.
Yes, big smile, but he's just walked off the parallel bars with the gold, so here he does now.
I love his excitement. He throws up the phone. He's like, yeah, what now? Gold medal performance.
I'll be back later. And of course, as you pointed out, the women have 4 events, the men have 6, so we will not be doing the alternating format right now, as this is our last event. So there's a little emotion. Now he cracks a smile. There you go. It's all right to be a little proud of yourself. Right now you're insured of being in first, 1 after 1. Have some fun. Following Jan is going to be United States' very own Joseph Haggerty out of Albuquerque.
The high bar score for Jan Kucherat.
There we go. So 15.5 is the bar right now as we speak. So through 1 of 1, Jan on top. And now we will move to Joseph Haggerty, the 24-year-old. And he was 7th in the 2006 U.S. Championships. And in the individual Pan American Championships, he was third in 2005. He was the 5th highest qualifier. And of course, as he resides right now in Colorado Springs, he trains at the U.S. Olympic Center, Colorado Springs. He also qualified in the high bar.
Oh! Was really crooked on the high bar and had to straighten that out to be able to swing and keep going. Nice. Full twisting Kovacs for his huge release. Bar jam to a half. Alright, hop 1.5. Stalder. Stalder half. Full twisting double layout and small hop, but all in all, a great performance.
See what the deduction is. That one mistake. Oh.
See there, he's really crooked, but manages to use a couple giants and straighten it out and really compose himself throughout the second half of the routine to finish up strong.
And through one, the top score is 15.500.
I'm going to have to publicly apologize for my inaccurate skills on the parallel ballers. I believe that I was calling a few of the skills a name that they weren't actually called. I was getting them mixed up.
It's okay. Way to way to throw yourself under the bus.
You know, men's gymnastics is just so complicated. It's so many skills out there, but I'm working on it, Randy. I'm working on my knowledge of men's gymnastics.
You're doing a good job of fooling me. 14.625, good for second right now. So Joseph Haggerty, not quite enough to go into the lead. Here's Roman Kaluska from Poland, 23 years of age, 7th qualifier. He won the silver on the parallel bars just a couple moments ago, behind Jan Kucherov.
And a laid out Tkachev, straddle Tkachev. All right, full twisting Kovacs over the bar, very nicely done. Front stalder to a Healy. To a Healy to an L grip, to a hop. Bar jam. L grip giants. Stalder to a Healy. Half turn. And get ready for the dismount. Double twisting, double layout, and doesn't get enough rotation off the bar to make it to his feet. It's too bad because that was a very nice routine.
Roman was happy with that.
And then he gets the announcer in the arena to comment and ask him why. It's not very nice. He had a start value of a 6.2 on that routine, which is pretty average along the lines of start values, guys, in this World Cup final, event final. You are watching exclusive coverage from WCSN, World Championship Sports Network, home of the World Champions. I am Tasha Schweikert.
I'm Randy Durgis. As I chime in as we await the score, as we're wrapping up our coverage today here on WCSN.
We're on our last event. The women have finished their 4 events, and this is the 6th men's event.
14.75.
And Roman just leapfrogs Joseph Haggerty of the United States and moves into 2nd position after 3 competitors. And FK Zonderland from the Netherlands coming up. From Ierenieden, 20 years of age, qualified 8th. And he has 2 older brothers that are gymnasts on the Dutch team. And he was a gold medalist in 2006 in Tehran.
Zonderland placed first in the high bar in the 2006 World Cup in Tehran, Iran, one of multiple World Cup events. Just completed a full twisting Kovacs that was very nicely done. All right, bar jam to L grip to half turn. Stalder 1.5, little off, but keeps it coming. Pop full. Stalder 1.5 again. Same mistake. Very small mistake. Tries to mask it, but you can see there he's off. He has to split his legs to grip the bar. Double twisting, double layout.
FK Zonderland.
Solid landing.
And he was very pleased with that.
So Zonderland completes our first 4 competitors in the high bar final. Our next 4 will be introduced coming out as well in our final event here, the Grand Prix, Glasgow.
Look at that. Very nice done. Catches a little close and has a little form break, but all in all, it was a fantastic routine. He has a start value of a 6.3 on his high bar performance, which is one of the higher start values of the high bar event finals tonight.
Here's the dismount, and he sticks the landing right there.
Beautiful dismount. That was huge.
Zonderland awaits his score. Look at the judges tabulating right now as we speak, and then we will have 4 more competitors to wrap up this high bar final. And the announcer encouraging the judges to get their scores in. I like
Something new.
Yeah. I like how he chimes in on things like that. Keeps everybody honest.
Wow, if I could be out there with a microphone heckling the judges or, commenting their every move, what would I say?
And Zonderland now moves into second place. Ahead of Kaluska from Poland. And here's the announcement of our final 4 competitors in the men's high bar.
There we go, last on high bar from Slovenia, from Switzerland, Christoph Scherer. From Slovakia, Samuel Piasecki. And from Great Britain, David Eaton. Gymnastics turn and march to the high bar.
And again, those are our final 4 competitors. Aljaz Pagan from Slovenia will be the first of the second 4. He was number 1 in the DTB Cup, second in the World Championships. First again, he has quite the resume. He was the 4th qualifier, and he invented his own trick, the Pagan. So I hope he can execute it.
That's key there. I always wondered, how does it feel, You have it's a lot of pressure to have a skill named after you because everyone in the world is expecting you to hit it every time. Dragulescu on vault, always with his double front half. You gotta hit it, but fortunately, he's just amazing on vault, so every time he hits it, it's a cakewalk.
Right.
The Pagan is actually a double front with a half twist over the bar, so look for that.
Sounds easy.
In my sleep. All right, here we go. Setting up. Amazing! Look at that.
That looks so easy.
Yeah, that looks...
For him, obviously,
yeah.
But...
He makes it look flawless. I guess it comes with the territory. You want to name your own skill, you better do it flawlessly. Right. Stalder 1.5. Oh, misses an arm. For a second there, I thought he was going to mask it with some sort of a one-arm giant, but can't seem to pull it off. Front solder, Healy, hop, Healy, hop half. Okay. Dismount, triple back. Oh, a little too short to complete that to a solid landing. It's too bad.
Best skill he had was his own skill.
Now that's for sure. That was huge. Well, although he had mistakes, I must say that that was a very nice high bar set. Very clean, and every skill he executed with great dynamics. Oh.
Reaching for the bar and just couldn't get it. Momentum carries him forward to his knees. I don't think Hagen's going to be too worried about it. His performance here in Glasgow. So we'll have 3 more competitors. Our final event, and then we will have the medal ceremony for you as well here on WCSN. Right now, Jan Kuchera is still with the lead. The high score is 15.500, and Pagan 13.425, and that puts him currently in 5th position.
Switzerland,
Christophe Scherer up next on the high bar. Second best qualifier with a score of 15.4.
Christophe has the highest start value coming into this event final with a 6.4.
His home is Lucerne, Switzerland. Begins his routine.
Free up, Stalder. Half, half. Front giant, half. Stalder 1.5. Up. Getting ready for a big skill here. All right. There's a full twisting laid out Jaeger. Very hard skill to do. Front Stalder full. Half twist. It's got a lot of pirouetting in this routine. A little hard for me to keep up with here. All right, getting ready to dismount. Full twisting double layout, and you can see he gets hung up in the air. The rotation virtually stops at the top of his flight and cannot pull it around to make it to his feet.
Looks like he held on a little too long, and that kind of stalled his momentum a little bit.
Yes. He kicked up well. No, he let go, I feel like, at a great position, but he didn't have enough quickness of the toes when he kicked off, so there was really nothing, no speed going into that kick to help with rotation. So that's what happens.
Now, this is Christophe's best event. He's a 2-time European Championship medalist, so he has the credentials. Did not compete in the recent World Championships. There's trouble with the landing.
And Christophe Scherer scores
Quickly in. Good enough for 3rd medal contention with a score of 14.8. Kuchera still with the lead at 15.500, looking for his 2nd gold in back-to-back events.
All right, next up on high bar from Slovakia, Samuel Piasecki. He's 22 years old. He qualified 5th into this rotation with a 15.0 and tied with Joseph Haggerty.
He was 8th in the DTB Cup and was 4th in the World Cup in Maribor, Slovenia.
Oh, man. Nice front Stalder. Healy hop. Getting to an L, hop half. Hop full. Setting up for a double twisting, double layout, and over rotates it. It looks like if he would have just kept his body straight and not have tried to pike down, would have potentially landed that.
With that fall, young Kucherov looking very good right now to get another gold medal.
That's right.
Here in Glasgow. So we take another look. Yaeski.
Laid out Jaeger. To an uprise. Change of the hand grip. Jam in. Now you think you're tired at the end of a normal routine, when you have to deal with the factor of having to waste all your energy in saving something to prevent a fall. That's just feeling double tired at the end of a routine.
And you can see it right there in his eyes as he pushes himself up, but clearly exhausted. Momentarily, we will have the scores from the judges, and then we will have our final competitor in our final event here in Glasgow in the Grand Prix. And why not end it with a Brit? David Eaton will round things off.
I know David Eaton.
You do?
I've competed with him a lot.
There's a reason for that.
No. I've competed with him a lot in the past at the World Championships, and he's been around for a while. 26. He competed for Cal Berkeley. So the fact that they're in the Pac-10, we're in the Pac-10, I've seen him.
You being in the Pac-10 going where?
To UCLA.
Very much. A little clarification for people out there listening.
Yes, and he went to Cal Berkeley. So.
David Eaton, third qualifier for this event, for the final. As you pointed out, the NCAA tournament, Cal Berkeley. His best high bar results actually came right from here.
To a full? That's right. That was a Ginger with an extra full twist. All right. Hop half, half. Stalder. Half. Front half. Getting ready for the dismount. Full twisting double layout and nails the landing.
Nicely done. The hometown cooking continues.
That was an awesome dismount.
Tweddle with the gold.
Great routine.
And
huge routine.
Right now, if you're Jan Kucherov, do you start to sweat a little bit?
You know, David's routine was great, but I haven't seen anything that compares to Jan Kucherov's performance yet.
Kucherov carried his momentum from the parallel bars, and he was first up here in the high bar final, so he might have taken a little bit of that adrenaline from the gold medal in the parallel and transferred that into gold here on the high bar. But what a performance there by Eaton, and just sticks the landing.
Good for him. That's awesome. The British getting really excited about their hometown heroes doing so well tonight.
There we go, David.
And he does medal. He gets third, but Kucherov gets the gold, so he goes home with 2.
Well done.
And the hometown salutes their hero. David Eaton, congratulations. A job well done.
Once again,
and that concludes our events here from the Grand Prix at Glasgow. And Kucherov, gold again. 15.5. He gets the gold. Epke Zonderland from the Netherlands, 15.275, good for silver, and David Eaton, good for the bronze with a score of 14.875, and then Joseph Haggerty has to settle for 6 for the United States. And nice show they put on in Glasgow. Crowd really into it. Scores coming in quickly. And now we're going to have our second medal ceremony to conclude our programming.
You see there was a shot of Kevin Majika. That is Sean Townsend's coach. Good to see him back out there again.
And momentarily, we will have the medal ceremony for you. A nice tournament as we look forward to Brazil on the 13th of December. Once again, another look at the men's high bar finals.
At the conclusion of this this Glasgow Grand Prix. The gymnast points will be totaled depending on ranking and their accumulation of gold, silver, and bronze medals. And the top gymnast will qualify into the World Cup finals, which will be in Brazil starting December 13th. Tune into WCSN because we are the only place where you could catch exclusive coverage of the World Cup finals starting December 13th, coming at you from Brazil.
And the gymnasts.
Okay, and now we are ready for the medal ceremony. Sit back and enjoy.
Presentation party and the gymnasts. Our first presentation here this evening is for the men's vault. Our presentation party, firstly, the President of British Gymnastics, Brian Stocks. Executive Member of Glasgow City Council, Councillor John Lynch. And from Glasgow City Council, Bailey Ellen Hercombe. The men's vault in third place with a score of 15.112 from Russia, Anton Golotsytskov. In second place, the silver medal with a score of 15.562 from Greece, Eleftherios Kosmidis. And in first place with 15.8 from Germany, Matthias Fahrig. Presentation party, please step forward to present the medals. There'll be another opportunity for a cheer in a minute when I mention them again. Third place, Anton Golotsytskov. Second place, Eleftherios Kosmidis. In first place, though, men's vault from Germany, Matthias Fahrig. Thank you, gymnasts. Please, if you could return to the line now, we can make the next medal presentation. This time it's for the women's beam. In equal third place with a score of 15.025 from Russia, Anna Pavlova, and from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. In second place, a silver medal with a score of 15.2, the Ukraine, Daria Zagova. And in first place, with 15.425 from Romania, Steliana Nistor. The women's beam presentation party, Deputy Chief Executive, Events Scotland, Paul Bush. From Glasgow City Council, Councillor Alex Mosson. And the Director of Technical for British Gymnastics, Bunny Warren. Please step forward to make the presentation. Equal third, Anna Pavlova and Sandra Izbasha. Second was Daria Zagova. Following on champion of women's beam, Steliana Nistor. Thank you, gymnasts. Our next presentation for the parallel bars. The presentation party. Firstly, FIG Men's Technical Representative Siegfried Funk. From Glasgow City Council, Bailey Stephen Dornan. And the Chairman of Continental Sports, Mike Boo. In third place with a score of 14.7 from the USA, Sean Townsend. In second place with a score of 14.925 from Poland, Roman Koletsa. And in first place with a score of 15.35 from France, Jan Kuchela. Presentation party, please step forward to present the medals. In third place, Sean Townsend. Second, Roman Koletsa. But our winner on parallel bars from France, Jan Kuchela. Well done, Jan Kuchela. Our next presentation is for the women's floor. The presentation party, FIG Women's Technical Representative, Wanashai. The Chief Executive for British Gymnastics, Alan Somerville. And the Director of Finance for Scottish Gymnastics, Robert Callahan. The women's floor in third place with a score of 14.725 from Romania, Steliana Nistor. In second place with a score of 15 dead from Russia, Elena Zamalonchikova. And our winner on floor with a score of 15.3 from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. Presentation party, please step forward to present the medals. In third place was Steliana Nistor. Second place, Elena Zamalonchikova. And in first place, the winner on the floor from Romania, Sandra Izbasha. Thank you, gymnasts. And our final presentation here today, this of course for the men's high bars. The presentation party from Glasgow City Council, Councillor Alex Mosson. The Deputy Bid Director for Glasgow 2014, and I do hope you're lucky, Lynn McPhee. And the Head of Sports and Events for Glasgow City Council, Keith Russell. In third place with a score of 14.875 from Great Britain, David Eaton. In second place with a score of 15.275 from the Netherlands, Epke Zonderland. And the winner on men's high bar with a score of 15.5 from France, Jan Kuchela. Presentation party, please step forward to present the medals. place went to David Eaton, second to MK Zonderland, and our winner on men's high bar from France, Yann Couchera. Thank you very much indeed, gymnasts. That's the end of all our presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the gymnasts and the presentation party a big hand as we march off the floor.
All right, Tasha, what a day, what an event. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, great to be here, Randy. Just excited to see the World Cup finals in Brazil next month.
And it's been a wonderful afternoon of gymnastics. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you're watching us on the internet, be sure to call your local or cable satellite provider and demand WCSN at home. For Tasha Schweigert, I'm Randy Durgis. Be sure to tune in for exclusive coverage on WCSN of the Brazil Championships on December 13th. Have a great day, everybody.
Goodbye and have a safe journey home.